Hello and welcome to round 3 of the 2017 Porsche Carrera Cup Australia Series, presented by V8's Online in glorious high definition and made possible by KRF Motorsports. We're here tonight at Road America. My name's Jake Burton and alongside me tonight is my very tired co-commentator Sam Sutton. How are you tonight, mate?
Yeah, good. As you said, a bit tired, but had a little nap and I'm all good to go now for 24 laps here at Road America.
That's right, Sam. Obviously, you competed in the 12 hours of Sebring overnight to raise some funds for a charity, but tonight we're here at Road America now for 24 laps, and I believe we're currently looking at the warm-up standings with Jared Filsell currently the quickest out there. Apologies, championship standings. Yep. So, try run through those.
So we got Rogers, our winner last week, Josh Rogers, currently leading the championship. Now, a few noticeable ones. So there were incident point penalties, so 5 points for every incident over 20. Rogers hit 20 and he was bang on, but big ones were Jared Filsell losing 115 points and Joshua Muggleton lost 190 points because of that. So it means Filsell and Muggleton, who was 2-3, drop all the way down. Corey Slade and Tim Harris are now 2nd and 3rd. Madison down 4th, and Michael Healy rounding out the top 5 in the points so far.
That's huge, Sam, because when you think about that, that's basically, 10 points off being a full race win is all the points you've lost there. So, although it was Spa, which is probably the track that you're going to get hit most in this season in terms of incidents, so they can probably afford it, but it just means they're going to go the rest of the season without too many more dramas on track. And we're going to take a look at the weather. Track temp tonight is 35 degrees, partly cloudy with a bit of a southwesterly at 11 k's an hour here at the 6.44 kilometre Road America circuit. Heaps of straights, Sam.
Yeah, heaps of drafts again like last week. We're just going through the grid quickly, Jake, as well. We don't have long until the race gets underway. So Joshua Muggleton is on pole with the 209.581. Ben Dow, P2. Jared Filsell, P3. Dane Warren, who had a great run last week but then ran out of fuel, is 4th. Tim Harris, 5th. Mitchell Sealak, 6th. Michael Healy, 7th. Darren Marsh, 8th. Corey Slade, 9th. And Josh Rogers, who 11th hour decision to race, rounds out the top 10.
It's a bit of a TTL group amongst that 8th to 11th range, because just behind Rogers we have John Emerson and Matthew Hill, then back to Nathan Huppets, Jackson Evans, and then Jake Maloney. So a lot of TTL cars just on the verge of that top 10 area there. But yeah, a bit of a surprise from Josh Rogers. He'll want to come through the field. Don't think he had much prep before the race.
Nah, he joined with about 5 minutes left in qualifying. He was like, I feel like racing now. So classic Rogers with the last minute decision to race, but he's coming out of P10. Look for Muggleton and Filsell to potentially try and build a gap, and Rogers is going to have a hard time getting through this field because Road America is narrow, but green flag, and we are away.
Good stuff
from Filsell.
Yeah, he's probably going to be side by side with Muggo into turn 1. These guys recently become teammates over at TTR. So Filsell to the outside. We look a bit further back. It's going to be Selak and Warren.
Oh, he's on the grass, number 92. Rogers in the grass. Oh, don't take out your teammate.
And there's contact.
Actually, he has. Rogers has gone around.
What's happened
there's also
there?
a massive shunt at turn 1, who we've also got Ashley Leary, Sean Evans, Cameron Dance involved.
What happened there is Healy's got on the brakes and caught Rogers a little bit off guard on the dirty line, and Rogers actually locked a rear to try and miss Healy, and pretty much almost collects his teammate Matthew Hill. So that's going to be Rogers around, a bit like Madison last week. He's going to have to fight through the field. Corey Preston seemingly involved in a first corner accident as well.
Fighting through the field's not going to be as easy here as it was to Madison. A much narrower circuit, very hard to pass.
Oh, saw Scotty Harris have a spin down the bottom of the hill. He's actually managed to get that thing straightened out, not too much damage. Guys filing their way up the hill. It's getting really, really close around these sort of 20th onwards. We've got Vale Ritchie's a guy we haven't seen much of recently, has returned for TTL. So he's
inside is Joshua Burden.
Yeah, there's a car off there as well. Dane Warren.
Oh, Dane.
That's a big shame for the ASM driver. He had an awesome run at Spa last week, and that's going to put
back
him.
And have a look at what happened to him.
He's just locked the rears, Sam.
Yeah, self spin. So he's back around Michael Hammond in 25th position.
See if we can take a look back up to the front as they run into Canada Corner for the first time. Muggleton leads, Filsell 2nd, Ben Dow back about a 2nd to 3rd.
Looking at Michael Healy, Matthew Hill, this battle for 7th.
I believe that's Darren Marsh, actually. Oh, that's close! Healy's rotated him. And that's going to be TTL into TTL into TTL.
Well, that's awkward, boys. That's very awkward.
Yeah, what happened there? We're going to take a look at the replay. Looks like maybe Marsh's Healy just thought he was clear and has given Marsh a little bit of a tap, just turning him around. And that's put him into then Matthew Hill. Reece Gardner actually in the fence as well from that. Jackson Evans as well. That was quite a big shunt.
Yeah, it's an awkward corner there.
Most of the guys kept it out of the wall other than Reece though, so they'll get him turned around back out on track. Look back. Josh Muggleton. Running a bit of a narrower line down into 3.
He's got his teammate Phil Sell all over him at the moment.
Yeah, worthwhile mention as well, Madison Down hasn't made the grid tonight. He's not having a run tonight, so familiar face gone. So it's just going to be these two boys as well as Michael Healy. And I believe, yeah, just those 3 for TTR out there tonight. Corey Slade also has dropped back in the field. He started 9th, so I'm not too sure what's happened to him.
I believe, yeah, he's been in the pit lane. We're seeing in YouTube chat his teammates said he dropped from TeamSpeak just at the start, so he potentially had a start from pit lane.
Not ideal for Corey Slade. Really smart
for third, Ben Dow, Mitchell Sealak.
Yes.
Ben Dow from Performance Motorsports and Mitchell Sealak TTL, as I've just lost both of them.
Yeah, Sealak maybe looks like he's actually struggling a little bit with a bit of aero wash behind Ben Dow there, and maybe struggling with a little bit of understeer, not really sighting those apexes. Obviously, Road America, one of those tracks that you have really big braking zones coming from such a high speed, and these cars hard enough to stop as it is. So if you're losing a bit of front aero, it can be tough.
He's got the draft now. They run up the hill. Interesting front straight. This is a massive climb up the hill, and then it just plateaus out, and then you drop down the hill into turn 3.
So we could almost have a race for the lead here. Phil Sell just tucking in behind Josh
Muggleton. Coming out of the pits as well. Paul Mansell's just slotted in between 2nd and 3rd position, so he's a lap down now.
Sealak looking a lot better out of 1 than Dow. Might be
just half a car width outside. He's just positioning himself half a car width outside so he can sort of see the apex of the corner and also just sort of fill the mirror a bit more of Ben there.
He actually perfectly executed his run out of 2, but I think maybe Dow's being helped a little bit by Mansell.
He's pulled to the left. Is he going to have a dive? No, maybe Dow looks like he's gone deep. No, he's got that pulled up. Nice driving there from Ben Dow. He's gone off on the dirt though. Run up to 4. Can Sealak have a dive? No.
I know we mentioned some of the victims of last week, but we should explain the incident point system because there's no doubt that Ben Dow probably got a 1x from that. It's 5 points deduction for every incident above 20. So probably targeting to get just a little bit less than 1 incident per lap, and Dow right out sideways on the exit of the corner before the carousel there.
Now, I've just seen the broadcast, Jake, and I knew this was sort of occurring, but Ben Dow on my screen's got a Performance Motorsport skin on. He's actually now a TTL driver, so I did say Performance Motorsports, he has got a TTL skin on, he's actually a TTL driver as well. So it's a battle between teammates here.
Yeah, we've had a bit of an error with the overlays, so they made the same mistake as you, Sam, but it's all good, so that means Sealak's probably going to be a little bit more patient behind Dow here compared to usual, or as if it was some non-teammate. It actually seemingly a little bit held up by Paul Mansell here. Mansell's not a slow guy, but
I think if he doesn't get out of the way, he'll get moved out of the way soon. So our training pain's having a few issues at the moment because Mitchell Sealak's still showing an ANZ livery. He's definitely a TTL driver.
Mansell has actually gone to the inside, so I'm assuming he's going to brake early for 1 and let these guys pass and slot in behind Harris and Sealak, which he does. Oh, Josh Muggleton.
Side by side, Maloney, Cananzi, 8th and 9th. That's Brett Cananzi making the move for 8th position down the inside of Jack Maloney at turn 1, but Maloney's holding the outside here. Can he do it into 2?
He lifted. Looked like he lifted a little bit there,
looking for the crisscross. Good apex speed.
Well. Yeah, he's going to have an easy run and probably an easy move here, assuming Kananzi holds the outside, but he's not. He's going to pretty much go the inside. There's one lane there, not even. There's going to be hard yards for Maloney to get by here. He's being very patient. He wants that inside. Breaks early. That's deep from Kananzi.
Kananzi's on the dirty side of the road too. He's going to have rubbish all over his tyres at the moment. The track is very dirty as well offline at the moment. All the sand traps here flicking up the dirt, and that's getting blown around the precinct. Kananzi's wide at 4.
Yeah.
Off in the dirt again. And there's heaps of marbles getting thrown in. You can just see it flying off the tyre. That's a big feature of this new tyre model. And I noticed it at Sebring is you're following a car and you're just copping rubber in the face at the moment.
Yeah, Maloney is obviously being a V8 supercar regular driver. He knows his way around this place. He's you know, the last round of V8 Scops, although it was many months ago, was here. So you know all the moves you can make around here, all the lines you can alter.
Well, at the moment, it looks like Maloney's car's a bit straighter in terms of its drive off the corner than Kananzi. Kananzi seems to be sliding the car. Of course, Kananzi does like to drift a bit, but what he's doing at the moment is not going to be helping this tyre.
Looks like they maybe had a swap for position between Siolak and Dow.
Yes, we have. So Siolak's passed Ben Dow for third. And I think Siolak will be released now. He'll be free to chase after Phil Sell. He has had pace in other series. As I say that, he's doing some mowing.
I doubt, although Dow can probably do it, I doubt he'll go for a move down here.
Yeah, he's probably just going to stay tucked in there. He probably knows Siolak's a little bit quicker, or as I say that, he does show the nose and pulls it back in line. Oh, don't rear end him. Oh. Siolak's just got to get his rhythm now and head down, chase after Phil Sell. Because as I was saying, Dow locks the rears. Very nearly collects his new teammate. Tim Harris, is actually... who's that spun in the background? Paul Mansell, he's out of the way quickly though.
Done a good job to keep the tyres lit up there and keep it out of the way of John Emerson.
Yeah, John Emerson has made a return to racing. We actually had him listed as semi-retired over at TTL, and he's made a comeback with his new Porsche.
It seems like every time you get an updated or improved car racing at Road America, John Emerson makes an appearance. Just seems to be his track that he comes back and races. I remember 2015 V8 Scops, he raced the first round and actually got a third place result. And I think that was one of, if not the only time he's raced the V8 since the new cars come out. So
yeah, round 1 Montreal, not a great one for him, but he's in the Porsche and he seems to be loving it at the moment. I think a lot of people are thoroughly enjoying this car, and it's probably going to be hard to get people away from it and back into the V8 for next weekend.
Going to be an exciting weekend next weekend, Sam. Obviously, everyone's been caught out a little bit with the V8. Some driveline modifications been made, very surprisingly. No one
Change
knew
for
they
a
were
lead.
coming.
Sorry, Jake. Phil Sell is in the lead, but Michaelson's locked the rears coming into Canada corner and almost drilled his teammate.
Yeah, so we'll see how long ago he made that move. It was
on
early
this
in the
lap,
lap, 10-3. He made that move. Big dive, well executed. Muggo gave him plenty of room, so now Muggo seemingly falling back a little bit as a result of that little lose into Canada corner. That'll allow Jared to wipe some stress off his face, some sweat off his face, should I say. Good move. Just looking at lap times in this sort of third place battle, looks like not that lap in particular. He only closed about a tenth to Dow and lost time to Siolak, but Tim Harris has closed up a little bit to these two.
Tim Harris from Dynamic Sim Racing is doing a good job so far. Gary Hamilton though is catching Jake Maloney at a rapid rate. 2:11.1 from Hamilton, 2:11.2 from Maloney, but he sort of dropped off the back of Kananzi. He did a 10.9 last lap.
I think it would be an appropriate time to maybe go for a championship leader update. Josh Rogers entering turn 2, currently running in 27th place and trying to get around Tim Ballinger. Obviously a bit of lack of preparation has set Rogers back a little bit more tonight, combined with the incidents obviously. But these high downforce, high grip cars, Sam, as you know, track position and qualifying is so important.
This isn't a high downforce or high grip car though.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. A car
I
that's,
know what you mean.
there's
Around
plenty
here
of
especially.
carnage, plenty of carnage and hard to pass.
As we look at Maloney, Hamilton, this battle for 9th, 10th, back end of the top 10.
This train actually extends back a little bit as well, not far behind his Huppets with Hyde, Schwecky, Ritchie's, Burden and Skin, and then a little bit back to Brookfield, so quite a big pack that if it condenses a little bit could turn into quite a battle.
Well, Val's done a
these
good job
cars.
as well. He's actually racing in VR, and he's sort of did a lot of laps in practice for a few weeks just to get a feel for it, and he's felt comfortable enough to start racing now. James Foster and Dane Warren. Warren coming back through the field as well from his lap 1 spin, up to 20th position now.
Yeah, he's a little bit further up the road than what Rogers is. We actually look at our front running lap times though.
10 dead from Phil Searle, 10-1
Yeah.
from Muggleton, 10-9 from Sealak.
I think maybe Muggo's been kept in it a little bit by draft at the moment. I'd say when Phil Cell pulls beyond sort of a second and a half, we'll see him extend a fair bit more. Coming
Battle
to
for third
about
though is well and truly on. Sealak hasn't cleared out from Ben like I thought, but Sealak's having some pretty severe internet issues at the moment as well.
yeah, we're about a third of the way through this race. So these guys have got plenty of time to play with. The Ciolac disappearing again.
Yeah, his pings was over 600. It's coming down now.
Good to see. He has a bit of a moment into 3 there. Gathers it up nicely. Last time by, the fastest of this pack was Dow, and Harris not far back from him, so they're closing up on Ciolac. Notice Mitchell Ciolac's one of those drivers that tends to have really, really good opening lap pace, and then it tends to fall away a little bit. Cananzi and Maloney are back at it again for P8. Maloney just showing a nose through the carousel, just getting in those mirrors. Gets him back. This battle we were talking about has closed up quite a bit, and we saw almost some contact between Josh Burden and Val Ritchie's there. Burden running wide through the kink. It's going to almost open him up for Joshua Skin here on the run up to Canada. Doesn't think about having a move. Burden's deep. Timothy Swiecki, however, all over the back of Nathan Huppets. These two have quite a bit of experience racing one another. Although they don't want to fight too much or they'll let Jason Hyde get away. So I've actually seen Nathan Huppets run a little bit wide there, and that's going to allow Schwecky to get a run. This could be a move into 1 there. Huppets running the middle of the road, but he goes to the outside. Timothy Schwecky to the inside, turn 1 of Nathan Huppets. There's not quite an overlap there. Huppets gives him room, but is able to turn over. We're hearing, while we were looking at that, Mitchell Ciolac has dropped behind Tim Harris and Ben Dow.
So looking at Gary Hamilton having another run at Maloney here. He was following him pretty closely before down the inside into oh, he's gone! Into the fence on the right. Very hard there from Gary Hamilton. And the Porsche, if you centre punch the front though, that's it. Not done, because that's where the radiator and the cooling system is, so I think he'll be done.
He's actually nicked the grass there. He's gone to the inside of Maloney a little bit too aggressively and actually nicked the grass as he's got on the brakes, and that's just thrown him the other way. Great driving to actually keep it out of the back of Jake Maloney there. Did everything he could. But that's going to be night over for Gary Hamilton, I think.
Yeah, he shaped up for the dive at 3 and just made a slight mistake. And he's well and truly done, I think, now. Surprisingly, he didn't actually lose any spots.
Yeah, he did a perfect 360 and kept going, but I think at a track so dependent on straight line speed, it's going to be pretty much falling back to the field now for Gary Hamilton. Interestingly, just looking at the front, the gap between the leaders last time by closed about a tenth. Muggo's starting to bring Jared back, but by the looks of it, he's lost a lot this lap.
Yeah, this lap he's lost about half a second. See what the times are when they cross the stripe.
10.7 from Muggo to Phil Sell's 10.2, so pretty much a perfect guess there, Sam. Well done.
I may not have sneaky things that tell me what times are.
Well, that's just cheating. Anyway.
No, it's being smart, mate. Work smarter, not harder.
Oh, wow. Why don't we take a little look back? Josh Rogers, since we last looked, has climbed about 4 positions, and he's now trying for a move on Cameron Dance down the front straight.
The Dance is
actually
going
covering.
defensive.
Should outbreak him here, I would think. He has done, but it's not.
Oh, Dance has outbraked himself nearly.
He was
Round
really,
the outside.
really dancing the back of the car there.
You're funny. Please never tell a joke again.
I thought it was good.
That was very bad. That was dad joke level.
Roger that, Sam.
My head is in my hands. Ziolak and
it.
Harris actually. Ziolak's gone to the inside at 5, sorry. And he's got it done. He was behind Harris, so back up into 4th now for Ziolak.
If we can take a little bit look further back than that, from about Huppets onwards for Pete.
Oh,
Wells
Hyde,
with
Jason Hyde,
what-
sorry. I think that's off in the grass.
Engine. Oh no, he's lost it coming out of the bridge corner. Just hit the grass, and he's managed to almost. Nah, he's hit the wall a little bit.
Yeah, his car's a bit mangled and he's just putting around on the grass,
Say
doing
he's
a bit of
probably
landscaping.
broken the left rear suspension on that hit, Sam. It looks very unstable turning right. He's keeping it nice and slow. But that pack in front of him that we were just talking about has now sort of split a little bit as a result of that.
No, well, this pack, so it goes from Nathan Huppert's all the way back
Yep.
to Joshua Skin in 16th, so from 12th to 16th, and then you've got Richard Brookfield and Ryan E.B. Harris having a look as well. There's also in there's Matthew Hill recovering from that earlier TTL collision, with Dane Warren recovering as well. So that goes essentially from 12th to 20th, this train.
Yeah, we should mention Tim and Ryan Harris, I believe, brothers. Know them through karting, so 2 really good guys. Nice and fast, and just having some fun in some 911s. But it looks like Ziolak and Harris, these guys don't want to quit battling.
That's given Ben Dowell a bit of breathing room as well. So he's got about a second or so over Ziolak. And the gap at the front still steady at 1.2 seconds. And this week, you'll be good to know this, Jake. Phil Seller and Michelson have done a clean lap.
A little bit easier here at Road America, I think, Sam.
So,
Also-
unlike last week at Spa, where some people did not even do one clean lap, everyone's done a clean lap this week.
Also hearing that some of the guys over from Good Game watching us here tonight.
Well, we have got John
Got a-
Emerson in the race.
We do, yeah, but not only that, they've been kind enough a couple times to do some promotion with some of our Aussie iRacers, including the best sim race in the world, Mitch McLeod,
I was waiting for that.
and Madison Down. So Good Game have been really good at promoting us here in the V8s. Sorry to Mitch about that little dig. But interestingly, Michael Healy, I'm just looking, seems to be sort of stuck. Sort of been within about a second of of John Emerson for a few laps now, and just sort of hit that wall.
Yeah, he's in that awkward zone where you're not in the draft to the point where it's going to drag you past the guy, but you're just in that arrow wash that annoys you and sort of takes away a bit of that front end grip. Brett Canards'd be in the same boat as well.
Yeah, Kananzi is consistently faster than both of these guys. But we're hearing that Vale Richies has maybe made a move
The Huppets has just extended a little bit, so this train now is sort of broken up. It's Joshua Bird
Look
now the
behind
head of
Vale
it.
though. Richard
Yeah,
Brookfield has
that's
a bit
very
of a run.
angry.
Has a big run on Skin actually. This is going to be a brave move if he thinks about it. Josh Skin shows a little bit of a dive to the inside.
Well, Skin had the run on Burden, and then who's Dane Warren to the inside of Matthew Hill? Had a look at one.
Awesome work coming through the field, but wasn't quite able to get it done then. But Brookfield all over the back of Skin. It'll probably be a move down the bottom of the hill. Skin runs a little bit narrow, gets a little sideways, but Brookfield actually wide and sideways. This has allowed Hilly to actually bring in a little bit of a gap. About half a second faster than Brookfield and a second faster than Skin last time.
Brookfield looking to the inside into 3.
On the brakes.
Hilly's hooked up the rear end. He's got down the inside. He actually copped a hit though to cause that move.
Can't complain though. Beautiful.
Fortune favours the lucky there.
Yeah, so that
Dang.
was...
Hearing Rogers around. Yeah, Rogers has actually spun off the... I see what he's done there. He's just run James Foster slightly out of road there.
Bit of a Phil Sell Madison style incident there. I think you'll find what happened there is Rogers was actually clear at the apex, but Foster got a bit of a run and had an overlap when Rogers didn't really expect it. So I'd say that was just a straight up racing incident there. And unfortunately, Josh Rogers has come off worse from it.
So all that work Rogers did is undone now. He's slotted in behind... Yeah, he's slotted in behind Cameron Dance, and so he's back in 21st. Ridge Vale's actually gained a bit of time back now as well on Nathan Huppert, so this is for 11th and 12th position.
Can we take a look at 17? Dane Warren is going to run too wide with Richard Brookfield up through this awkward section. Brookfield seemingly lets him have it.
Yeah, probably a smart move. Too wide through there is not a smart idea. Can be done, but it's very risky.
Yeah, especially on this dirty track. Sam, you could have the rear end step out on you at any time, but a relatively clean move there, but that's just allowed Matthew Hill to have a little bit more breathing room. We're now halfway, well, almost halfway through this one.
Yeah, we've just started 12 of 24. Brookfield had a look at Dane there.
Yeah, I think Brookfield seemingly running a bit of a conservative race. We've seen him show a nose and then not really commit to any moves, so I think Brookfield's maybe just played the smart game, has the track position, but maybe not quite the pace to get runs on these guys. Looking a little bit further forward. Vale Ritchie's, Nathan Huppert's, two very experienced sim racers.
Joshua Burden's joined this party now as well. Joshua Skin. So this train, it's like a slinky at the moment. It's extending and then it's just getting right back and compressed again.
Bit of rubber banding going on with the whole pack, Sam.
I like my slinky analogy better, Jake.
Hey.
Each ring in the slinky's the car. Your rubber band's just...
Yeah, it's...
Why don't we just get the fishing reel out?
It's called rubber band. Look. You don't need the fishing reel. That's drafts, mate, not pace. That's Aren't there just times you wish you could mute your director? Anyway. Looks like last time by, Josh Muggleton, 9-9 to Phil Sell's 10-2. The last couple laps, he's brought in massive time on Jared Philsell. Philsell been averaging sort of 1s and 2s, very consistent, but Muggo able to pump out a 9-8 last time by. So Muggo's back in that draft.
0.3 of a second.
And is flying. Look at that. Apex speed for Muggo and
Philsell! Nearly met that fence at a rapid rate.
And I know these guys are on pretty much the same setup, so maybe Philsell just worn the tyres away a bit early while Muggo just conserves. Time for Muggo to start swinging.
We'll look for Muggo to have a dive here. I mean, it is his teammate, but he'll have a go.
They got 10 seconds, and they don't really have much behind to worry about. These guys should go at it. It's actually been a bit of the story of pretty much every round this season, just the front 2 or 3 break away. But we're looking
Richie's is just past Huppert's for 11th, and then we had 3 wide down into turn 2. Huppert's the big loser. He's lost out to Joshua Burden. He's going to lose out to Skin as well on the run down to 3. Matthew Hill's in the box
Hilly
seat.
can do with it. Yeah, Hilly's the one who's got to capitalise off this because he doesn't quite have the pace to pass them, but he's got the pace to get track position. So very deep, probably a smart play. He'll run a little bit wide, get a crossover, and he's rotated it beautifully. That's going to allow him to have at least a run on Joshua.
He's got the overlap on Skin, and Skin's going to be on the high side, a little dirt.
Brilliant
and move done from Hilly.
Textbook there from Matthew Hill. Hilly always surprises me. He's a guy who can stay out of the seat for a year or more and then come back and just have awesome racecraft. When you've had time off, it's not hard to retain speed, but to have race laps, really challenging. But we're looking up to Michael Healy now, still trying to chase down John Emerson.
Oh, Canarsie! Now, what I was going to make a point. So Healy has struggled to get past Emerson this whole time, but Canansie's essentially driven past us both. But Emerson's got a run now on Canansie into Canada corner. Canansie goes defensive.
Oh, awesome work by Emerson to get an overlap, but it's a little bit wide on exit. Healy he seems to really be struggling within that sort of 6/10 or closer range behind another car. Although he did have that contact with, was it Darren Marsh earlier in the race, so he could have a little bit of front aero damage. Wouldn't be much.
The car looked pretty clean to me though. What this battle's doing though is it's letting Maloney and Hamilton's actually still cracking on despite that shunt earlier.
He's doing an awesome job. That was a heavy impact into a concrete wall.
It's quite a rapid rate of knots he hit that wall with.
We're seeing Muggo losing 2/10 last time to Phil, so he's maybe cured those tyres a little bit too much that couple laps of high 9s, so going to cool it off and then save it for the last 10 laps.
So battle packs 1st and 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th.
3rd, 4th and 5th is looking interesting, Sam.
Yeah, it is.
Ciolak all over the back of Dow. As we mentioned, these guys are now teammates.
Dow's doing a good, strong showing, having a great race, first time out in TTL outfit. A very new signing, like yesterday new.
It's his debut in any series for TTL, so very impressive.
We only grabbed him yesterday, so.
And Josh Burden has made the move on Vale Ritchie's. I'm going to assume that was at the end of the back, into turn 3 there, so
yep.
Bit of a dive on Vale Ritchie's.
So that promotes Burden to 11th, Vale back down to 12th.
In this battle, Burden back is still sort of raging. Dane Warren will actually be on it soon because we know how quick he is. He's doing 11s in traffic, so...
Sorry, Jack, Canarsi's had an off. He's gone from 6th back to 10th.
Alright, let's see if we can take a look back and see where that happened.
And
end of the straight.
He's got a run now on Gary Hamilton though out of Canada corner. Hamilton doing a bit of drifting.
Yeah, Canarsi's going to want to be careful because he locked the rears coming down into turn 3, so he's probably going to have them a little bit too hot at the moment, but he's got a beautiful run on the straight. Should be able to do something with Gary Hamilton here.
He goes, Canarsie down the front straight to the inside of Hamilton, but backs out of that. You would have thought Brett would be able to just drive by Gary at the moment with that front end damage he's got.
Yeah, it seems to not be affecting him as much as we thought. It's rather surprising actually. And I'm sure he's got his eyes glued to that water temperature sensor because he's probably taken the radiator out of the thing.
This battle up the front though, still a seesaw between these two, swapping tenths of a second. It's that classic battle where you think you're faster than the guy, and Muggo's actually just disappeared. He's back now, pinging up around 500. But it's that battle where you think you're faster than him, but it's a false sense of security because of the draft and all that sort of stuff. So you make the move, and then you're like, oh, I'm not pulling away anymore. I thought I'd be quicker. So I think Muggleton's just going to sit there and potentially in the last couple of laps have a dive.
Yeah, knowing Muggo, it'll probably be a last lap thing. He's actually run wide coming off the carousel. Keeps it pinned though. Classic Muggo. That until he did that, that's actually the closest that Josh Muggleton's been to Jared Fuel Cell since lap 1. So looking back to Burden and Ritchie's, these guys have been going at it all race.
Matthew Hill's also passed Nathan Hopperts.
Yeah, that's good. So we'll see Hilly and Ritchie's go at Josh Burden. These guys have been teammates for a number of years now. See, Vale Ritchie's one of the founding members of TTL, and Matthew Hill coming in the early V8 days from a old team that our director's very familiar with, named XSG.
Vale was very committed through the kink there, running in towards Canada corner. He was going to have a dive. No, he just keeps in line.
You TTL boys are very competitive, so Vale's going to want to be thinking, alright, we know we've got the speed for Burden, but we don't want to lose too much time and give it up to Hilly.
It is a competitive sport, mate. You got to be competitive. Just looking at John Emerson and Healy. Healy's got it the first run he's had in a long time. This battle for 6th has been going on pretty much the entire race. This is the closest Michael Healy's been the whole time.
It hasn't really been a battle though, so
no,
it's sort of been
a shadowing.
Yeah.
But Healy looks like he's found a yard of pace now. Looking slightly more racy.
The guys were so close on lap time last time though. Just a mistake from Emerson last lap, I think, that sort of allowed Healy to catch up a bit more.
No.
Healy
oh, is he going to have a dive? No dive. No dive from Healy there. I was expecting it. I think Emerson might have been slightly expecting it. Car was a bit further to the left than it would have normally been.
I think Healy's probably one of, if not the most patient racers we see in the Aussie community.
There's patience and then there's lack of aggression.
That is true. I think Healy can definitely be aggressive when he wants to be. So seeing Joshua Skin making a move.
Oh, big shunt.
Not even a big shunt though. Somehow everyone managed to stay straight, although I reckon...
No, now there's a big shunt.
Spoke too soon.
Small shunts lead to big shunts.
Huppets.
Rogers in that too.
Oh, Huppet has just come straight in and collected.
Rogers has flipped Huppets.
I don't think he had many options there.
No.
That all happened so quickly.
Rogers having a bad one tonight. Although, with the points penalty to Phil Sell and Muggleton, he'd probably still be leading the championship where he finished anyway now.
Although, the amount of incidents Rogers has had tonight, it probably wouldn't surprise me if he has a points penalty.
Oh look, 2 4Xs, a 2X, he'll be right. It's only 10. Hope he didn't get too many off tracks. So we start lap 17 of 24.
Yeah, this battle, sort of, Maloney back has sort of split up a little bit. There's Ritchie's... No, sorry, those few cars were in between Ritchie's and Kananzi, I think, so that's why... No,
they're behind
Gary
him.
Hamilton. And
No, he's still there.
Burden.
He's still there. Hamilton's still there. Burden got passed by Vale and then he's been passed by Hill.
Yeah, Burden was the one who dropped back. Sorry, he was the guy I was looking for. So he's lost 2 places to both the TTL cars that lap. Seeing Brookfield has had a rotate in the last corner. Not hard to do down there. He's actually done it all on his own though. But he was actually going slow. He was going really slow. He let Ryan Harris go. And then it's just self-spun really weirdly, so maybe hardware problems or something there for Brookfield.
Not enough fuel. Ziolak has passed Dow as well for 3rd position.
Gonna promote him up, it's good. But Dow won't let him have it easy, and of course Tim Harris is just sitting there waiting for these guys to sort of slow each other down.
Harris has got to be sick of staring at these TTL cars at the moment. He's been staring at a black rear wing, now he's staring at an orange rear wing. All looks the same though.
Rogers is able to pass Cameron Dance for P15, so that damage hasn't affected him too badly.
No, I think he got away with it actually. It might have just been a netcode hit in the car. It looks perfectly straight.
Emerson gapped Healy a little bit last time by. Emerson down into a 10.7, which is actually his fastest lap of the race. He did get a 1x though. but still his fastest elapsed time around a lap, so that car is not going off by any means.
Look at the dirt exiting Canada Corner. It's a one-line road at the moment.
We have, of course, seen, Sam, some awesome passes made down into Canada Corner over the years. I think the one that sticks in the mind of most of the V8s Online fans is Richard and Jared.
We've got Brett Cananzi, sorry Jake, having a look at Gary Hamilton. Up the hill to the inside goes Cananzi. This has sort of been brewing for a while, and I was actually expecting Cananzi to drive by Hamilton with the damage, but he's struggled with it so far. But Cananzi gets that, looks like he's got that secured now, up into 9th position.
Oh, a bit of a moment from Hamilton as well on exit. Looks like he's struggling to rotate that front end, so maybe a bit of a wheel alignment knock on that car. Seeing Josh Muggleton for the lead is actually brought with a 9.5. Two 9.5s
the race.
the last 2 laps from Josh Muggleton, and that second one was actually official. So no off tracks from Muggo, he's doing it all clean.
Well, these two are in a league of their own at the moment. The only two guys to do their fastest lap in the 9s. A 9.4 from Phil Sell, 9.5 Muggleton.
Seeing Corey Slade has actually recovered a little bit and is chasing down his ex-teammate Reese. Oh no, current teammate, sorry. Is it current teammate? Yeah, ex-teammate, sorry. Corey Slade driving for Team Tortoise, not sure. I've heard it pronounced Tortoise before, but
It's definitely Tortoise. Sort your life out.
it's what I get for watching race spot broadcasts. Speaking of which, Jared Filsell in the lead. Josh Muggleton, let's see the lap times this time by. So another flying lap from Muggo. That's going to be an illegal fastest lap of the race.
Yeah,
with
Filsell got the reel out, reeling him in.
Seeing Mitchell Ciolek in pits. Why?
What's going on there?
Do we have race control in these races, Sam? Is it possibly a penalty?
No, there's no live race control.
Okay, so that's going to be a
I'm just going to watch
stop.
and see what he does.
He hasn't been involved in any accidents, so... Wait. Yeah, he hasn't been involved in any accidents, so I'd say he doesn't have enough fuel.
That is confusing. I'll ask him after the race, see what happened. But at this stage, all I can think of is not enough fuel. Or
Yeah,
something
he's
has
got no
come
damage. Yeah, he wouldn't have made it that far and taken this much fuel. There's something pretty bad going on in that car. He was stationary for a long time, more than just a splash. That's going to put him out actually behind Michael Hammond. So 23rd place for Mitchell Ciolek. That's a big disaster for him. And actually just seeing...
is it removes one of those TTL cars in front of Tim Harris?
Yeah, just speaking of the other Harris, Ryan Harris, he was doing pretty well, but lap 16 was a 2:19.7, so Ryan Harris has had some sort of drama in the last couple of laps, and that brought him all the way to 19th, so a little unsure what's going on there, but Cananzi being chased by Gary Hamilton. Hamilton all over the back of him. Guys are going to have 5 to go when they cross the stripe this time by, so not long left, about 10 minutes.
And these two have jumped Jake Maloney as well.
Yeah, Maloney with a 13.0 last lap, so a bit unusual.
Now, Muggleton actually looks like he has pace over Phil Sell, because Phil Sell is going defensive into turn 1.
Yeah, these guys almost have an overlap. Let's look to the front. Muggo is going to go to the inside of Phil Sell, but doesn't quite get the power down as nicely as he'd like. Phil Sell parking the bus beautifully.
It's been a good drive from Muggo though. I think most people would have expected Phil Sell to get in front and clear out, but Muggleton's done a great job to stay with him, and he's actually probably putting a lot. He is putting a lot of pressure on, but he's probably got more pace, I'd say, at the moment than Phil Sell.
Phil Sell's defensive. He's going to run the middle, so great defensive driving there from Jared Filsell.
Ball locked, chirping the rears there from Phil Sell.
I think also it's worth mentioning is he has another little look to the inside. Josh Muggleton, I know, has driven one of these cars in real life, a Carrera Cup car. And I'd say he's probably the only guy in the field who has done that, so it's got to be worth something.
I am just watching these two cars and the way they're behaving at the moment. Phil Sell's driving it very deep into the corner and sort of taking what I call the Rogers style, which is get it to the apex and then squirt it off the corner, so you don't carry as much mid-corner speed. And Muggleton's rolling the car through there a bit nicer. It's probably helping his tyres as well.
Yeah, it looks like Muggleton's braking curve is a little bit less peaky than Phil Sell's. Like, you look at Phil Sell, he gets a lot of his stopping done in probably the first 10 or 20 metres of the braking zone, and then beyond that's where Muggo brings it back in, but definitely hurting the fronts on Phil Sell's Harrop Racing 991.
In the last half of that, Phil Sell actually gained a bit of air gap between him and his teammate.
And just looking back, Ben Dow looks like he's getting a little bit of pressure put on from Tim Harris. Harris 2/10 faster last lap.
Looking at Kananzi, Hamilton 7th and 8th position. Hamilton's doing a ripper job to stay with him, and he's probably at the moment I think a little bit quicker. Was 2/10 faster last lap.
And poor Healy, still about 6/10 behind John Emerson.
Yeah, he just can't seem to find a way past at the moment. Kananzi goes defensive. Straight away to the right hand side of the road.
Probably not worth doing it that early. He's probably not even going to get to him because, as we know, Hamilton's got a bit of front end damage, so he's probably not going to be able to actually get there. He's got to be really close coming off the last couple of corners to be able to do anything with it.
Yeah, Hamilton's got to really drive it hard to get to the back of Kananzi and then just hope he doesn't lose too much in a straight line.
And back up the front as well. Phil Sell 4/10 faster than Muggo last lap, so that's actually brought them way back out. About half a second. Oh, and just seen Joshua Rogers has managed to get around Dane Warren. Two of the faster guys who we saw have incidents earlier have now met.
So Rogers is recovering to 13th at the moment. 2 seconds up the road to Burden and then another second beyond that to his teammates.
I think 13th is probably the furthest up the road Rogers is going to make it. He's got to be pulling about 4/10 a lap if he wants to get to Burden, which is possible, but Rogers probably struggling with tyres a little bit at this late stage in the race, having come through the field.
We'll just have to wait and see. I guess you never know what Rogers can do. He does look pretty ragged though, he's using all the road and then some.
Seeing Reese Gardner, Fusion Sim Racing car, currently running about P24. Bit of a rough night for Reese. Although he actually, yeah, he's dropped from where he started. I think he was involved in that first lap accident.
Muggleton's dropped another 3/10 last lap at 2:09.498 from Phil Sell, very nearly matching his fastest lap of the race.
So I think Muggo may be too soon juniored it there. He pushed really hard in sort of the lap 16 to 20, did some unreal lap times, and I think he's just burnt the tyres up. And now Phil Sell, leaving it patient, is now going to use the last couple of laps to make sure that Muggo doesn't have a chance of getting around him.
Yeah, the way this new tyre's working, it's phasing kind of odd at the moment. You find you push a bit hard for a few laps and you got to wait for them to come back to you. So it's going to be interesting when we start getting the V8 and V8 Premier Series.
Oh, sorry Sam. Healy was close there into 2. He's actually gone really deep. And
Harris is actually looking to have a look on Ben Dow. Ben Dow locks the outside front into turn 3. Says we'll stay with Ben Dow, Tim Harris as they're running down towards turn 6.
I think a lot of the 2-car battles we have here are sort of just going to keep rubber banding. There's not really much any of them can do. So you got to really have a pace advantage to make a move stick here at Road America. And
You just got to have one wild dive up the inside on the grass and...
I said stick, not get past.
At this stage you don't really need to make it stick, you just need to get in front and park the bus.
True, true. But it is quite an easy track to do the old over-under.
Yeah. Well, there is a video out there of a race between myself and Marlon McMullen of Marlon trying to pass me up the inside about every corner of the track, and I just drive around the outside, so it is possible to go too wide through pretty much every corner here.
Also a video that's quite famous that John Emerson put up. Some GT3 cars having a nice little accident coming out of the kink. So that's a corner we've seen many crashes over the years here on V8s Online.
So we're on 2 to go now. Still Phil Sell from Muggleton. Muggleton is slightly quicker. Muggleton does his fastest lap of the race, but it's not legit. He got an off track somewhere. 209.471.
Yeah,
There's
so
a bit
Muggo,
left in the tank for the old boy.
yeah, I just don't think he's going to be able to do it. These tyres phase out so quickly, and you can see it already, almost this lap. It's as if that 9.4 has sort of put those tyres out. I mean, Phil Sell did a 9.6, so he's not exactly going slow either.
Dow and Harris. Harris has a look to the inside into 3, thinks better of it, so this is going to crack on. Oh, Joshua Burden off the road. Rogers has been caught up in it, I think. Hilly, sorry. So he's had a dive on Matthew Hill.
Hit the grass.
Yeah, just gone straight into the door.
He was never going to make that one. Innocent mistake, but that's going to promote Rogers and Dane Warren up another 2 positions each. Harris and Dow, probably the 2 closest on the track at the moment. Harris doing a nice double apex through the carousel. If you can get the kink right, you can maybe have a look down into Canada. Dow running really tight. That's going to put him almost wide, using all the road there. Harris has got a run. I don't think it's going to quite be enough unless he has a lunge. Probably could have, actually, if he wanted to, but he might be saving it for this last couple laps. We do have 2 laps to go now.
Well, it's 24 laps, isn't it, Jake? So 1 lap to go.
That's correct. White flag. Of course, they haven't crossed the stripe yet. That's where my error has occurred.
But the leaders have, so the white flag is flying.
Yep, that's accurate. And Muggo faster last time by than Phil Sell, but only by a 10th. So he's going to have to let Phil Sell make a mistake or have a monumental lunge this lap to be able to do anything. But Dowell and Harris is the race we really want to see. This is for a podium. A lot on up for these guys. Harris gets a good run through 2. This is going to be it down at 3. Gets a little bit oversteer, but he's still got a bit of a run. If he can use the draft, this is going to be it down the end of this straight. Harris needs to have a dive here and then park the bus on the apex. Dow doesn't give him the inside, gives him the inside. On the brakes, Harris has got the line. He's got the overlap. Harris, oh, that's close. There's contact. I think a bit of oversteer there from Ben Dow.
Oh, Dow's not happy. He's chirped up on the radio.
Yeah, it's sort of a conflict area there, Sam, because the white line is where the racing line ends, but pretty much everyone uses that black bit of tarmac. So if you're out there, technically you should probably actually back off and give the inside car the room to rejoin the track, but very grey area, should we say. But if we take a look up at the front now that battle's ended, Jared Philsell being able to put up with the pressure from teammate Josh Muggleton, all 24 laps here at Road America. Phil
Yeah,
Sell
Malcolm,
driver.
good start and stayed in front, but Phil Sell eventually had the pace to drive by him. So TTR, sorry, 1-2.
Yeah, Phil Sell not normally had much luck here. Oh, Phil Sell's...
Nah, they're going for the form finish, mate.
Oh, yep, okay.
Chill.
Why do they get us excited like that? But, yep, that's going to be Jared Philsell taking the win for TTR 1-2 alongside Josh Muggleton. Let's see if Ben Dow can finish... Wait, Ben Dow! No, sorry, we saw Tim Harris get the move done that lap.
Burden spun it at the carousel. So he's back down the field a fair bit now.
Harris P3, Dow P4. Might try and take a replay of all that shenanigans that have happened, but we'll keep running through the order. Emerson is going to cruise home in P5 with Healy just behind as he's been all race in 6th. Hamilton's going to be promoted to 7th. Kananzi, I think, making an error that lap in 8th. Then TTL 9, 10 and 11th with Maloney, Richies and Rogers.
He said 13th, the highest Rogers would get. Thankfully, a few incidents up ahead, going up to 11th. Ciolak's on his lid at the final corner.
He's going to get it finished though. He's flipped that car.
So what he's done is he's slid it up the inside of Ryan Harris in the last corner, and then he's had a bit of a slide, overcorrected and gone into the nose of Harris, and then that's just turned him up on his lid. He slid on his side for about 100 metres, hit
Harris,
the fence and driven away.
Harris just kept it pinned. He's like, I don't care if I flip you over, mate. The line's just up there. So
probably would have carried him to the finish line.
Richard Brookfield is your last car on the lead lap, so why don't we follow him until he comes to the line, and then we'll go through our full race results. Brookfield with a bit of a tough night in the office. He managed to make his way up the field a fair bit and then was involved in that crash.
Yeah, he had to pit for some reason as well. Don't know what, but that's the end of that. So all cars completed. So winner, of course, tonight, Jared Philsell from Joshua Muggleton. Rounding out your podium is Tim Harris. 4th, Ben Dow. 5th, John Emerson. 6th goes to Michael Healy, and 7th, Gary Hamilton. 8th and 9th, Brett Canazzi and Jake Maloney, and rounding out your top 10 is Val Richies.
That's right, Sam. Josh Rogers only finishing one place behind where he started, which, considering he was involved in probably 2 or 3 crashes that put him pretty much to the back, it's quite a good effort, as well as Dane Warren, who had a similar situation in 12th, Cameron Dance 13th, James Foster 14th, Stuart Hall 15th, Matthew Hill 16th, Ashley Lear 17th, Joshua Burden, who had a bit of night of carnage there, in 18th, Jay Boving, a guy who we didn't see much of in this race, in 19th, and Ryan Harris rounding out your 20.
And 21st, Michael Hammond, Tim Ballinger 22nd, 23rd, Mitchell Ciolak, who slid his way through the final corner, Reece Gardner 24th, Corey Slade 25th, 26th goes to David Jellings, and last car on the lead lap is Richard Brookfield in 27th. Then we got the cars lap down, or that did not finish, is Paul Mansell 28, Nathan Huppert's 29, Joshua Skin 30, 31st, Tim Schreck, Scotty Harris, Jason Hyde 33rd and 32nd. 34th goes to Darren Marsh, and Sean Evans is 35th. Jackson Evans, Ryan O'Sullivan, Jordan Murphy, Corey Preston, and Scott Zyslowski round out your field.
Yeah, so that is Road America done and dusted, Sam. Definitely had its fair share of carnage, although it's probably fair to say a little bit less than what we saw in the first 2 rounds. But that's probably, as you said, still going to leave Josh Rogers as championship leader, depending on how many incidents he got.
Yeah, the penalties for Philsell and Muggleton last week really hurt them and put them down around 40th in the points. So Rogers could afford a bad round tonight, and I think he's definitely got away with that one as well.
Yeah, so we'll just wait a minute and see if we get a couple of the guys come in and have a chat. We haven't seen anyone actually come in yet. But it's worth mentioning, a lot of guys who might remember a few years ago on V8's Online, we had the Wednesday night Sim Instruments Truck Series, but now it's returning Thursday night to V8's Online. The trucks are coming back, so feel free to tune in so that we can hear, so that you guys can see some awesome truck racing here on V8's Online. And of course, we'll be back not this Monday, but next weekend for some V8 Supercar action. We're going to Montreal for the first round of the V8 Supercar Online Premier Series, as well as the Monday night official series has week 1 the following Monday. So a lot of racing coming up for us, Sam.
Yeah, busy couple of weeks here at V8s Online. Should be good though. Lots of racing, lots of broadcasting, and always exciting to see some of the best guys in Australia go at it. I think we've had no one join us, so we might wrap it up here, Jake.
Yeah, we might have to. Thank you very much to all those who tuned in to watch tonight across many platforms. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast, and this has been Jake Burton and Sam Sutton at V8s Online for round 3 of the Porsche Carrera Cup Australia Series. Your race winner, Jared Filso.